What's the crack, boys? Another season where the Sixers season is quite unclear. We have no idea what it's going to look like at the end of the season, even the start of opening night. Another drama. James Harden wants out. Obviously, the whole Doc Rivers situation. I've made a video on that. But I really want to talk about expectations because it can definitely go a lot of ways. Harden's going to get a trade regardless. It's very unlikely he's on the team and, actually finishes the season with us. Anything can happen, but even Harden said the relationships, it's too late to be fixed. So he'll be traded. Daryl Morey's not going to settle for a bad trade. We know that. That's how we got Harden. People were like, yeah, the Sixers should be good taking CJ McCollum, Jeremy Grant. We get Harden, which with Nick Nurse, we'll talk about him soon. If we had Nick Nurse last season, I think we'd probably make the finals. No, we would. We would make the finals. I could be delusional, but who knows? Why not run him back? Obviously, contract situation, I get that. Harden probably wants to, play in LA, his hometown, retire there, play 4 more years and retire. That seems like nice. He's one of the greatest players of all time. Who knows? Maybe in a few years, Clippers somehow turn contenders, or they win next year. Well, this year, next year, whatever. But obviously, we got a lot of expectations. Harden deal's either going to go for role players, hopefully a pick or two. We're going to get role players to surround Embiid and Maxey, or we're going to get a guy like Zach LaVine, which I would like. I think Zach LaVine's quite underrated. He's an all-star level player. That's what you need. Maxey play point. He plays shooting guard. Tobias small forward. PJ Tucker's probably going to go with James Harden. If I had to guess, they're probably going to be packaged away. We lost Niang. That's kind of tough. B-Ball Paul, I think, Doc Rivers never played the young players. I think Nick Nurse is really strong with young players, especially for the G League, working them up. I think Jaden Springer will shine. He needs to be in rotation next year. Jaden Springer's a star. He just needs to play. So, obviously, I'll make a new video once the trade package is done because it's really different ways. If we get the role players, it's Embiid, Maxey. We're pretty much playing on a Maxey jump, which I think Maxey's very capable of averaging 25 next year, 100%, especially with Harden gone, especially with role players. We could get Terrence Mann, Markieff Mike. We're not going to get a good package from the Clippers, which means I think it'll probably be a free team trade, which will bring in Zach LaVine. That the scoring options will be crazy. Nick Nurse is quite a defensive-minded coach, and Embiid will be our anchor on defense. So I think defensively we should be solid, not amazing. We don't have the best defenders on the team. Paul Reed is a great defender. Doc never played. Oh, I'm so happy Doc's gone. I can't believe he was our coach. Really wasted more. The Sixers are cursed already. We know this. Embiid's prime is being wasted. Finally, we got a good coach, and then Harden asks out. It's so tough, bro. Truthfully, before we even get into it, what I think's gonna happen, we trade for we trade whatever, get probably just scrape 50 wins or just get under 50 wins, at least 45, be a top 4 seed in that area, make the second round, lose in the second round again, Embiid requests a trade, boom, we blow it up. That's what I think is gonna happen. So, we're here to enjoy the last season of Embiid, one of the best, probably the best player to play for us, but. That's tough, but it really just depends on what we trade for. Maybe Daryl Morey has something crazy up his sleeve. What did he do? He waited for a star to ask out. Probably going to be the exact same situation as Ben Simmons. Harden just doesn't play. Boom, a star asks out. Boom, that's what I would do. Because, when Ben was sitting out, the Sixers were still good. We were high in the standings. Were we first? We were definitely top 4 bare minimum. I would say top 3, if I remember correctly. Playing well, Maxey was shining. There was more players getting minutes. Even with Doc, Doc's a good coach in bringing an underdog to wins. He's very good at that. We saw what he did with the Clippers. Take that Warriors team to 6 games. Doc is very good at that. He's good at making average teams very good. Obviously, once he has really good teams, it just folds. We saw that when we blew a 3-2 lead. But the Nick Nurse hires definitely saved Embiid from requesting a trade. I think, he's going to give it 1 more year. He says he does well. It is reported that he wants to have, a Dirk and Kobe type career, which I would love. I would love to see him on the Sixers for the rest of his career. At the same time, I want to see this guy win a championship. That's probably not going to happen here. But, it is what it is. Nick Nurse, I think it'll be great for our culture. Like I said, he's great defensively, especially, developing young players. And, he does complain a lot on the sidelines, standing up for his guys. I think that will rub off on the players very well. Obviously, it's just so tough. Every time something falls in line for the Sixers, bro, something else just falls apart. Fine, it's whatever. Now, our three main players I want to talk about, Embiid, Maxey, and Tobias. Embiid, another probably a 30-point per game season, MVP conversation. Maybe he's not a finalist, who knows. He'll be himself. Maxey is like, yes, we're kind of preying on a Maxey jump. We're begging for it, to be honest, which I think he will. All-star conversation, 23, 25 points per game. Have his, maybe score 50 next season. He's the one I'm wearing right now. He'll have a big lead. Maybe he'll lead us in scoring. Embiid takes a bit of a step back. Nick Nurse is kind of notorious for playing his star players a lot of minutes. You can't really do that with Embiid. You cannot do that with Embiid. You can't. He's injured every playoffs. You can't. Tobias is sort like, Tobias is very, like, if Elton Brand, who should be out of this team, should never have a job again, didn't pay him that big contract, Tobias would be one of the most appreciated players in the league. Undoubtedly been one of the best role players in the NBA. It's just the contract. He has had his very low moments. But, whatever. It is what it is. Tobias, he will have a step up. Last season, that 2021 season, he had a great season. He was in all-star conversations. I'm expecting another big leap from Tobias. He's like 30. He's like a big leap. I'm expecting to have a better season. One of his best. Best since 21. That's what I think. Role players, Paul Reed, hopefully another jump. Jaden Springer, he just needs to play like 15 minutes a night, bro, and you'll see. Jonathan Mellon, it pains me to think about the 0 for 6 for 3 he went, or whatever it was, in like game 6. The air ball as well. He's still a solid player. Can't really make a fast break layup, but it is what it is. Obviously, our roster's just embarrassing. Patrick Beverley will be good. I'm a fan of Patrick Beverley, especially if he's on your team. He's one of those players that you just want on your team. He'll be good for us. Mo Bamba, I like that. Solid pickup, good backup to Embiid. Him and Paul Reed. Montrezl Harrell, he tore his ACL. You don't want to see that. I would like to keep him on the team just for that. He's a good locker room guy, gets everyone hyped. The stuff. I think PJ Tucker's gone as well. Like I said, him and Harden will be packaged away probably to the Clippers. That is what it is, but overall, I'm saying a second round exit. Embiid requests a trade, and we probably get rid of Nick Nurse. I don't think he'll be here for a rebuild. He's kind of too good for a rebuild. And then we just restart the process and build around Maxey. All that tanking for this. What the